I'm sure most of you have been through your first day of high school. My first day of high school, it started off pretty well. I got off the bus, I went to my classes, and the morning classes went well. I had a few friends in each class, and that made it a little more enjoyable to be there. After I left my 5th period biology class, I went to my 6th period gym class. And I had signed up for a normal team sports gym class, an ordinary one, throw a ball, kick a ball, catch a ball, that kind of thing. And when I got there, it seemed different. It had a different feeling to it. So I was thinking that this wasn't the gym class that I'd signed up for. And about 10 minutes later, my teacher, Mr. Laughlin, came in and he told me that I was in Partners PE. For those of you that don't know what Partners PE is, it's a class where one group of students gets together to help another group of students with various disabilities, and we teach them life skills through physical education. At first, I really didn't want to stay in the class because I had never really helped anyone with special needs before or even dealt with anybody with a disability. But I decided that I would give it a week to see what it's like, see if I get a feel for it. And sure enough, a few days later, I saw something before class that made me want to stay in it for the long run. I saw an older male student. He was a senior, and he wasn't really helping these students with disabilities. He was being a friend to them. And I noticed that being a friend is what really mattered because social skills are the most important thing to take away from Partners PE. So from that day on, I decided that I wanted to be that student, that I wanted to be that partner that was able to help teach life skills and social skills through Partners PE. So from that day forward, I started building relationships, and day by day, they got stronger and stronger. And now I look back on that day and where I am now, and I'm really thankful for it because it's really changed who I am as a person. It's brought out a passion that I never knew I had. And it's very important to me because not only am I their game changer, they're mine, and they've taught me more than any other teacher has ever taught me in school. Now this personal story brings me to my next point. The world needs game changers right now because the world isn't in the best of situations. For example, Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in 3 different South African prisons fighting for a cause that even some of his own people fighting alongside him thought were lost. But he kept fighting, and he fought with passion and grit. And he eventually succeeded, and he freed his people from the apartheid in South Africa, from the racism that they faced day in and day out. And fighting with passion, doing something with passion, making a difference with passion is what's really going to make a difference great. Most people that want to make a difference, they don't really have a passion for it. They see it as something that they need to do. But you don't need to do something that you don't want to do because there is something that you want to do, that you can do, that will affect somebody's life positively. Although a lot of people question when they should make a difference, when in life it's appropriate to make a difference. And sometimes you don't even know when you're making a difference. So the question of when is right now. Because right now you can go out into the real world, you can step into somebody else's life and make a difference, make an impact on them that will reflect positively in society. Another problem that a lot of people run across is self-belief. I know I struggled with it in Partners PE because like I said, I never dealt with anybody with special needs before. I never helped anyone. Now I was responsible for teaching these students with disabilities life skills. But nothing's impossible. That's what I found out. And things that seem impossible, they really aren't. And the easiest way to face something that seems impossible to you is to be creative. Think about it. Are you going to be able to do something that someone else has already tried and failed to do by trying to do it the same way? Chances are you're not going to be able to do that. So dare to think differently. Dare to think outside the box. Because when you do that, you open up new possibilities that no one ever even thought of before because you're thinking differently. Now, whenever you think differently, you're going to run into failures. I know in Partners PE I fail every day because a lot of students have problems communicating. Communication is one of the biggest issues when it comes to students with special needs. So I have to try and come up with new ways to deal with it. Body language, facial expressions are just a couple of ways that I think of to cope with communication problems. And again, those don't always work, but I just have to keep trying, keep failing, because eventually I'm going to figure something out that works, and that's going to help them in the long run. And whenever you fail, you should just know it's coming, because not everyone fails the first time. You might succeed the first time, but again and again, there's going to be a time where you fail. But you shouldn't just know that you're going to fail. You should accept failure. You should accept the fact that you're going to fail, and you should be willing to fail. Because failure is going to teach you what you can and can't do. But what you can't do is only what you can't do yet. Because if you overcome a failure, that's only another goal that you've overcome and you've achieved. Failure won't hold you back. Adversity won't hold you back. If anything, it's going to push you forward even further. Whenever you go to make a difference, there's always going to be a greater good. Because chances are you're not doing it for yourself. You might do it to improve your happiness, your quality of life, but in the end, it's going to help somebody else. I like to think of it like the universe expanding. The universe expands in all different directions and it gets more massive every single day. But if it only expanded in one direction, it wouldn't get as big as quickly. That being said, people strive to their own goals to make their own differences in life. They each walk their different directions, and with that, the future becomes bigger and brighter for us. The possibilities become bigger. But whenever you go your own direction, there's going to be someone going in a different direction than you that disagrees with you. They're going to think that what you're doing isn't going to help. It's only going to bring them back. But they don't realize that them going one way and you going another way pushes us further and makes the possibilities bigger. Now, people going in that direction, they will disapprove, but you can't let that disapproval stop you, because if you stop moving, we stop moving as a people. We stop moving in one direction. You need to continue to be the person that matters, the person that is important to somebody else. I know for one that I'll continue to be a person of importance and help and do what I can do in Partners P and a Special Olympics program at Baldwin. And I encourage you to do the same thing in whatever you decide to pursue. The way I see it, you can go through life thinking two things. You can go through life wondering if you should be doing more, or you can go through life wondering what more can you do. I want to go through life wondering what more can I do, because that means that I'm always pushing myself and pushing society further and helping other people, because it comes full circle. And one day I'm going to need help, and hopefully that comes back on me. Someone will be there to help me. And I know that a lot of times people don't want to help. Sometimes they don't think it's going to be any good. But I assure you that it is, because making a difference is what's important. You can't rely on somebody else to make a difference in the world when you're there and you're ready to make a difference. TED's slogan is "Ideas worth spreading." But I didn't come up here today with an idea worth spreading. I didn't come up here because I want you to leave with an idea worth spreading. I came up here because I want to see everyone in this room leave with an idea worth doing. Thank you.